Hey guys, Double Costin here, and today I have a archetype overview video called Sifting Through the Trash, in which I go through each card in the archetype, say what they do individually, say what their role is in the archetype, and then explain what the archetype wants to do as a whole and how to win with the deck. And today's video is based on GUSTOS, and I know I promised you guys a Gusto deck profile is coming. I'm just missing some of the key cards I need for the deck, which is primarily only Kaijus, because I believe Kaijus need to be run this deck so that GUSTOS can be sort of competitive. I mean, let's face it, GUSTOS aren't going to do anything, and YCSs are some ARGs, but I just want to make this deck like playable at your locals, play with friends, and not just be utter trash, because these cards are awesome. They have some really good potential, and Kaijus help getting those problem monsters off the field and getting a beat stick on your opponent's field so that you can run your little birds in for the delicious Gusto OTK. So let's just get started. I separated the archetype into like 5 groups. The first group are the animals, which are primarily tuners and birds, like for example eagle. The second group are the little girls, the girls that ride the birds. The third group is sort of the big effect monsters that GUSTOS have. They do have some of these, they're not that bad. And then the fourth group are the synchros, which are the girls on the birds, and lastly there are the spell and trap support. So let's just get started with the birds. So let's go. Okay, to start we have Gusto Eagle, and Eagle is great because he's a level 1 Wing Beast tuner who says when this guy is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a 1 level 4 or lower non-tuner Gusto monster from your deck. And special summoning from the deck is awesome in this deck because you want to get your Gusto monsters out of the deck and into the graveyard so you can use them with other cards. And the best target you can special summon is Pilica, and Pilica allows you to special summon a wind tuner from the graveyard so you can special summon this back onto the field. And honestly, it's a good chump blocker. Like, you need chump blockers in this deck. This deck is really slow. It relies on the battle phase. You want these cards to be destroyed. So all you gotta do is you set Eagle on the field. It gets destroyed, right? And you can special summon a 1 level 4 non-tuner monster. And you can special summon Pilica, and you can special summon Kamui, Winda, all these other cards. So it does allow you for some maneuverability, some malleability in this deck. And honestly, it gets the effect off when he's destroyed by battle from your opponent, or if you crash into him, which is amazing because it works well with this freeze OTK that I was talking about. So honestly, it's not that bad. It is a tuner yourself, but for the most part, you're not going to use him as a tuner. You can though, so that's always an option, and it's honestly pretty great. So Gusto Eagle, you need to run through these cards because this guy is really good. So next card we have is Gusto Falco, and Falco is not the greatest, even though he has one like the cooler names because I love playing Smash Brothers, and Falco is my main, by the way. But Gusto Falco says he's a level 2 Wing Beast tuner. When the face-up card on the field is sent from the graveyard, except by battle, you can special summon 1 Gusto monster from your deck and face down defense position. Okay, let's analyze this card. Let's see why this card is not that great, unfortunately. So, first of all, the cost, or the conditions that you need to get this card for its effect to go off. When this face-up card on the field is sent to the graveyard except by battle. So the only way this card can work is if it's destroyed by like a card effect. And that's basically it. Like a Dark Hole, a Raigeki, that's basically it, because this effect does not activate when you Synchro Summon, Link Summon, Tribute Summon, because it misses timing. So if you guys don't know, it has the text when this face-up card on the field is sent to the graveyard. So it's not an if, it's a when. So in order for this effect to activate, it has to be the last effect in the chain. So when you, like, for example, Synchro Summon this card, because the card is a tuner. Let's say you Synchro Summon this guy. The last thing to happen in that event is the Synchro Summon. So this guy misses timing because it does not have the opportunity to activate its effect. So that's why this card is not the greatest. And like even if you can activate this card, you special summon a Gusto monster in face down defense position. So that's not that great if you want to get that OTK, if you want to get like some other card on the field. And it's primarily used with Kamui, and Kamui is the only flip monster. But then again, it's super slow because you have to like have this guy on the field, get destroyed, and then set the Kamui, and then next turn you flip the Kamui or something like that, and then you get your effect off. So it's not that great. It's a level 2 tuner, and which is like it's like probably the only level 2 tuner. I think I'm missing Condor. I do not have Condor, which is not the best, but it's not that bad. 1400 defense is pretty great for a level 2, but you primarily won't be using it for that reason. So Falco, I don't necessarily run him, but if you can run him, honestly do, because I want you guys to be creative, be like the deck builders that you are. And honestly, if you want to use this card because that's a cool name, use this card. But I for the most part won't be using it. It's not the best, and it's sort of unfortunate. But all cards are bad or good, so you just take what you have. The next card is Gusto Griffin. I think this guy is a sleeper card. This card is pretty good. So he's a level 2 Winged Beast effect monster with the effects that says, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Gusto monster from your deck. You can only use this effect of Gusto Griffin once per turn. So this guy surprisingly has a very modern effect. So it has a if this card's sent to the graveyard, so it does not miss timing. So it has if, so it happens right when this guy hits the graveyard, so it does activate, does not miss timing. And if it's sent from the hand to the graveyard, you can special summon a Gusto monster from the deck. So that's honestly really great because you can special summon a Gusto monster separate from the battle phase. Because like Eagle, Goldo, they get their effects off by getting destroyed by battle for the most part, right? So that's really slow. That's why this deck isn't the most competitive, but Griffin, I feel like it can get super close to it if you can get this card off. The thing is, you need cards that work with Griffin. You need cards that pitch cards from your hand to the graveyard. Cards like, you can run a bunch of stuff. Cards like Raigeki Break, Karma Cut, Twin Twisters, cards like that. I know there's more cards out there. You guys can like look those up, but you need those cards, and like it actually works really well because you can like pitch Griffin, get your effect off, get like a Twin Twisters, right? Pitch destroy 2, and he gets his effect off, and he can special summon any Gusto monster from the deck. So you can special summon a big high level Gusto monster. You can special summon Pilka. You can even special summon this guy itself. You can summon Goldo. So again, it has the malleability to summon any Gusto monster from the deck, which is awesome. Only for the cost of getting this card from the hand in the graveyard. Like, even if like your opponent's running like Dark World Dealings, you can even run Dark World Dealings. Like, pitch this guy after Dark World Dealings, gets his effect off. So this guy is really, really good. Otherwise, doesn't really do much. It's not a tuner. It has only 800 attack points, so it's mainly just a combo piece. But if you do get the combo off, it works wonders in this deck. Like, believe me, it accelerates your deck so fast. Because like the deck relies on its normal summon. It relies on the set. Relies on a normal summon. If you can like summon twice with this deck would be really great. That's why you need Griffin to like accelerate these combos. So Griffin's awesome. It's not a 3-off in my opinion because like it gets super cloggy. Like, what are you gonna do with like 2 Griffins in your hand? But I think 2 is nice because you want to see this guy. So not bad. And then you have like arguably the best tuner in the deck, Gusto Goldo. He's a level 3 Winged Beast tuner. When this guy is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower Gusto monster from your deck. So this guy's awesome because it works through battle and it works through card destruction, card effects. So in those terms, it's pretty great because you can still ram into someone, gets the effect off. You can set it, and then it dies, it gets its effect off. The thing is, it also misses timing, which is unfortunate. If this guy did not miss timing, guys, Gustos would be so good because you can like single summon with this guy, get a level 2 or lower Gusto monster from the deck, and then like it'd be so great. But again, these cards aren't made in 2018. They're made in like I honestly don't know. They came out in Hidden Arsenal, so there's that. But otherwise, it's really, really great because you want to see this card. The fact that it's level 3 is awesome because it works with Pilka, so Pilka would summon this, and you get freeze instantly because freeze is level 6 and Pilka's level 3. So this guy is really great. You want to run 3, and also it works so super well with Eagle because you crash with Goldo, send it to the graveyard, summon Eagle, crash with Eagle, send it to the graveyard, and get another card. So that's really, really great. You want to run 3 of this guy because it's honestly pretty good. I know it's still outdated, but it's really, really great for this deck. So we have 2 more for the animals. And now we have Gusto Squirrel. He is a level 2 Thunder Tuner. It's not a bird, I know. Like, what do they do? What is Konami even doing? But honestly, it's a squirrel, and squirrels are awesome. It is a Thunder monster too. Also, Thunderbolt is a Thunder monster too. So these guys are not Winged Beasts, they're Thunders. And this guy says, when this guy is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 5 or higher Gusto monsters from your deck. So this guy is not that great just because that the level 5 or higher Gusto monsters aren't that great. We'll talk about them later. But honestly, that's all it does. It's a tuner, it doesn't really do anything much. And it can only be destroyed by a card effect to get its effect off, which is you guys can work with it. Like, you can use like Diagram, you can use Fire King cards, you can use cards that destroy cards in the hand, because it doesn't matter where this guy was destroyed by a card effect, it just has to be destroyed by a card effect. But and it has 1800 defense for a level 2. That's not bad, but like It is a combo piece, but the combos that it makes aren't that good. So Squirrel I wouldn't run it. Again, some decks do run Squirrel. I want you guys to check out those decks. I want you guys to make up your own decks, because this guy is not bad. Special summon from the deck is really, really great. But yeah, for my deck and for like the most competitive Gusto deck, it's not that great. And lastly, we have Gusto Thunderbolt, who's a level 4 Thunder type monster with 1500 attack points and 1200 defense. It says, at the end of the battle phase, if this card is in the graveyard, because it was destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard that turn, you can banish one Gusto monster from your graveyard, special summon one level 5 psychic type monster with 1500 or less defense. So this guy is actually another sleeper card in this archetype, because first off, he's level 4. And you can do some stuff with level 4s. Like you can use like the level 2s to make freeze, you can make high level synchro monsters. But the fact that it sort of works like one of the destruction effects, right? You want to set this card or put this guy in attack mode, whatever. Set this guy. When this guy's destroyed, you can even banish itself or banish any other Gusto monster. And you can special summon one Gusto monster with 1500 or less defense points, which is like honestly most of the cards in this deck. You can summon Kamui, which is, I'm not calling it, Pilika. And Pilika is great because Pilika, you want to see Pilika as fast as possible. But honestly, it also special summons Windar, Reese, and Musto. These cards aren't that great, but they are targets if you want to run them. And like, it's actually pretty great. Also, 1500 attack points. You saw in one of the duels I had, this guy came in clutch because like none of the other Gusto monsters, my opponent had an empty board, and I had to like, you know what, let me summon Thunderbolt and just attack for 1500. It's pretty standard, and it's like one of the higher attack monsters you have in this deck, and it also works like one of the birds where it gets cards off for free. So honestly, setting this card and passing is actually pretty great. I mean, it's not competitive, but like, it's not that bad, you guys. Thunderbolt is pretty good. So that's the first part, and now let's get on to the second part where we talk about the little girls. Okay, these cards are the girls that ride the beast, ride the birds, and become the synchro monsters, and they're all non-tuners. So let's begin with Kamui. Kamui is at level 2. She is a psychic type monster with 200 attack points, 1000 defense points, which doesn't really matter. But flip effect, special summon one Gusto tuner from your deck. So again, Kamui and Winda, they work together, in which Kamui, they sort of do the same job. With you set Kamui, and Kamui is pretty great because even if your opponent doesn't attack, on your turn you can just manually flip her and get her effect off, which is really, really great because you can go into a link summon, you can go into a synchro summon, you can summon Goldo, you can instantly go into a what is it? Daigoso Goldo, so you can do a bunch of other stuff, and she's pretty great. Also, she has low attack points, so it works well with freeze. If you want to summon this off Eagle and attacking somebody, that's pretty great. And honestly, she's really, really great. Have I mentioned that she's great? So let's go on to Winda. And Winda's sort of the same thing, which she's level 2, has 1000 attack points this time. And she says, when this card is destroyed by battle and with an opponent's attacking monster and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Gusto tuner from the deck. So again, you set these cards, hopefully your opponent attacks into them, and you special summon Gusto tuners from the deck. So they do the same job. They have different niches to them. So this is the flip effect, has lower attack points. This is like destruction by opponent's attacking monster. Honestly, if this card said destroy by battle, just flat, this deck would be so good because you could literally go Goldo, attack, Eagle, attack, and then Winda, attack, and that chain goes on forever. So they made it so that you have to stop at a Winda or a Kamui or some other Gusto monster, and then you pass. So they're actually pretty great. You need to run these cards because you need non-tuners that you special summon. You can also work with other cards you want to run in deck. They're not necessarily 3-ofs because again, it gets super cloggy. You don't want a bunch of cards that just set, but you need to run these cards because like they do something in this deck. They do have a role in this deck. And probably the best card in the deck, the most recent Gusto card they have, is Pilika. And Pilika is super great because she's a level 3 psychic effect monster with the longest effect because you know what, this guy is sort of modern. And she says, when this card is normal summon or special summon, you can target one wind tuner monster in your graveyard, special summon that monster in face-up defense mode. Its effects are negated. If you activate this effect, you cannot special summon monsters. For the rest of the turn, except winds, you can only activate once of this effect per turn. She is a hard once per turn. This guy, and she is really great because just special summoning this card gets you a free wind tuner. So you just special summon this card, get Goldo, instant freeze right there. And that's basically it. That's basically all you need, honestly. Also, you can special summon this off Eagle. Eagle summons this from the deck, and then she like summon this from the deck, and then you get a Golda from the graveyard. So then like you can still get your plays off next turn. And she's really, really great because like, that's basically it. Like honestly, like she gets a summon off. It makes your combos work faster, and you need to run through this deck. And she works with E-Telly, so you can use E-Telly, special summon her from the deck for free, not using your normal summon. Summon Goldo, go into Freeze. Freeze gets Goldo, summon Goldo, and get your combo right there. And like, you want to summon this guy as fast as possible. You want to summon her without using your normal summon. So we'll run a bunch of cards that does that. And she's honestly a 3-up. You need to run 3 of her. And yeah, she's basically the heart and soul of this deck. I would not run this deck without her because like you need something to go off of, and Pilka is just the person we need to go off of. And lastly, we have Cam or Calm, Serenity of Gusto, level 4, 1700 attack points, psychic effect monster who says once per turn you can shuffle 2 Gusto monsters from your graveyard into your main deck, draw 1 card. So this guy or she is pretty she's alright, but you still need to run her because like if too many Gustos are in your graveyard, you don't really do anything. Because, like, let's say your opponent runs into a Goldo. Goldo's effect activates, but you have no targets, then, like, you're out of luck. And also, like, it's a draw card. With 1700 attack points, she's not that bad. And if you use Transmodify in this deck, I would recommend using Transmodify for some versions of this deck. Because you can Transmodify all the birds into each other, because they're all, like, separate levels, right? You can, like, Transmodify Eagle into Griffin, Griffin to Goldo. You can also transmodify Kamui and Winda into Pilka, and you can transmodify Pilka into Cam. So that's actually pretty great right there. And honestly, you need to run Cam because getting those guys back into the deck for a plus one, well not plus one, but for a plus 1 draw, that's pretty great. So those are the girls, and now let's get on to the bigger effect monsters. These guys aren't that great, but honestly, I've seen some decks and I see some duels of when they actually do something, so let's go over them. So we have Musto, Oracle of Gusto. Musto, Oracle of Gusto, whatever you want to pronounce it. He says, once per turn, you can target 1 Gusto monster in your graveyard and 1 face-up monster on the field. Shuffle the first target into the deck, and if you do, negate the second target effects. This guy is slow. This guy is not that great. He has 1800 attack points, which is honestly really, really great, but at the expense of targeting 1 Gusto monster in your graveyard, shuffling back into the deck, it's not that bad. It's not that hard to do. But the like honestly, it's only for an effect negation, which isn't that great. It has its uses though, but I wouldn't run this card because just for that. Like I'd rather have common pieces for the OTK. I'd rather have like anything other than this card, honestly, because this deck I can use this guy's effect with a trap card. He's honestly not that bad. I want to see you guys run him. I want to see what you guys can do with this guy. That's just Musto. Then we have Reese and Windar. Honestly, the coolest artworks of this deck. So Reese is a level 5 psychic effect monster with 1900 attack points. Once per turn, you can turn 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck, target 1 monster. Your opponent controls and 1 face-up Gusto monster you control, switch control of those monsters. Honestly, switching control of these Gustos is really, really good. That's why I run Creature Swap. That's why you should run Creature Swap. That's why you shouldn't really run Reese, because the fact that you can't normal summon Reese, it's not normal summonable. You have a bunch of cards that special summon her, but they're super like niche and hard to pull off. Again, like you have to use like Falcos or a Thunderbolt just for this card. And like sure, once this card actually activates, it's really, really good because you can like crash into your own Gustos that you give over, and then they get their effect off. But why run this card when you can just run Creature Swap? Like you can just summon Goldos, Creature Swap, and if they only have 1 monster, you get their monster, and then you can crash into your own Goldos. It's not that great. Yeah, she's just not that great. She's awesome though. You can run her. I want you guys to run her if you can, and show me the duels, because I know you guys are creative enough to use her in a good way. But that's just that. And lastly, Windar, and he follows like the same concept. He's level 6, psychic effect, 2000 attack points, so the highest main deck attack Gusto monster. When this guy is destroys a monster by battle, and sends it to the graveyard, you can target 1 level 3 or lower Gusto monster in your graveyard, special summon, and face up defense mode. So it doesn't really do anything with the combo. Like you're not gonna kill people. You're not gonna run monsters over with 2000 attack points. Like let's just face it, that's rarely gonna happen. And the benefit of doing that is you special summon a level 3 or lower Gusto monster from your graveyard in defense mode. Yes, you can probably get a tuner and go for your tuner plays or your synchro plays. That's honestly it, guys. He's such a badass with this awesome hood and his scythe, but he doesn't really do anything for the deck. Like the main win condition you want to do is this freeze OTK, but it just doesn't really do anything for that, which is unfortunate because this guy looks so cool. Yeah, so these cards aren't that great. You can run them. You can like run one of them if you want for the like option to go into them, but honestly, they're just not that great. And let's go into the synchros real fast, because the synchros are really, really easy to explain. Let's leave Freeze for last, because we all know Freeze is the best card in this deck. But let's just go over Falcos. Falcos is level 4, so not that high of a level. It is commonly on Falco, that's why it's called Gusto Falcos. I love the concept of this deck, guys. Like little girls riding these birds and their wind types and their psychics. It's just so cool. It takes a 1 tuner plus 1 more non-tuner Gusto monsters. All of the Gusto synchros that have the same condition. And then when this guy is synchro summoned, all Gusto monsters currently in the field gain 600 attack. So it's not that great. Like, just think about it. It's like, okay, let me summon this guy. All my monsters gain 600 attack. That's basically it. But honestly, guys, it's also a sleeper card. Like, you should run at least one just for the fact that you can special summon him. So yeah, you'll have situations in which like you have Eagle and you have like maybe if you're running Falco, you have all these cards in your hand on the field, but you can't synchro summon them because they're just both tuners. Let's say you also have Griffin on the field, right? Like it's the bad example. This is a terrible example. Give me Goldo. Let's do this. So let's say you have these two cards on the field, and you have Falco. This is like not even stuff. This is not even board. This is a terrible example, guys. Let's say you have these two guys. You can't get into Freeze because you have 2 tuners. Well, you tune this into Falcos, then you get Falcos, you tune this with Falco into Freeze. That was a very long and convoluted step just to show that, hey, you can use stepping stones for synchros. Like you can use this, synchro summon into this, gain the 600 attack points, and then synchro this up into Freeze. But all that for one extra deck spot is not the greatest, but again, it's an option I want to show you guys. I've seen people do it where like you just, I'm sorry guys, you can just step up synchro summon. It's not that great. 1400 attack points, but the 600 attack boost, he gets it up to 2000. For level 4, yeah, it's just a waste of like, for the most part, it's a waste of just time and like materials that you need. Next is Gusto Goldos. Goldos says, once per turn, you can shuffle 2 Gusto monsters from your graveyard into the main deck to target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. Again, it's not that great because you shuffle 2 monsters, so like, okay, there's some graveyard control you have there into the deck, only to destroy 1 target. Like for level 5, there's so many other options you can run, like all the level 5 single pool. It's just not that great. I mean, like, it's awesome that Winda is riding Goldo. I mean, that's cool. But again, like, doesn't really do anything. 2200, it's not that great, guys. I wish these cards are super great because they're so badass. Then we have like Gusto Eagles, the biggest badass in the entire world. You have Windar riding Eagle, and Eagle like evolved into like a huge eagle. Like look at this. You have baby Eagle right here, and he just evolves into like a badass, a bald eagle ready to like kill some people. But like he's level 7, 2600 attack points. So like only 2600 attack points. Like come on, Konami, give me an actual boss monster. 1 tuner. We already talked about that. Once per turn during the end phase, you can banish 1 wind monster from your graveyard. Target 1 face down card your opponent controls. Destroy that target. So this guy is like notoriously bad. Like I will explain all the reasons why this card is bad. So first off, it is a once per turn during the end phase. So if you think Gustos are slow enough during the end phase, like are you kidding me, Konami? Give me a faster card. You can banish 1 wind monster from your graveyard, target 1 face down card your opponent controls, destroy it. So Gusto monsters, they gain nothing from being banished. Once you banish a Gusto monster, there are no Gusto cards that allow you to get these cards back. So when you banish 1 wind monster from your graveyard, it's gone basically forever. And then you target 1 face down card your opponent controls. Not even any card, right? You have to target a face down card. So it's primarily going to be a spell or trap, or it's going to be a set monster. I'm like, okay then. And then you destroy the target. And again, destruction is super bad right now. So the fact that you summon this guy, right? You spend all your resources summoning this guy. You banish one wind monster, so that's gone forever, just to target a set card during the end phase, only on your turn. I mean, he's badass, but this card's effect is straight up terrible. I want you guys to run this card. If you guys can make this guy work, then I will literally praise you in the comment section. I'll make a video on you guys. If you guys make a combo using this guy, I will like praise you for like everything you're worth. But this guy is not good. And lastly, we have Sprees. And Sprees is literally the deck, the heart and soul. You run Pilica to make this guy a maker. And it's basically a Reese, but Sprees. I literally have no idea why she evolved. Like, she got, like a better staff. Like, the staff's, like, cooler or something. She got longer hair, but that's basically it. And she says, when this card is synchro summon, you can target one GUSTOS card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. So that's honestly really good in and of itself. Like, you summon this guy, you get one of your resources back. That's amazing. Your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken when battles involving this face-up card, and this card cannot be destroyed by battle. So this literally sets up your OTK plays. Like, you literally summon this, summon all your weak GUSTO monsters, crash into them, and they take all the battle damage. And not to mention that all the GUSTOs, they literally chain into each other. GUSTO and Eagle, they chain into each other. So you summon Eagle, crash, summon Gulo, crash, summon Eagle, crash, summon like Winda or Kamui, they crash. That's like a lot of damage. That's why you want to run Kaijus, because if you summon a Kaiju on your opponent's side of the field, they're sitting at 2,700 attack points. They have a 2,700 attack point beater, and you can just get all your little guys and run into them. The problem is that you need like extra summons. So you can't really get this combo off just by setting some cards. I mean, you can, but it's really hard to do. So what you want to do is that I have some cards that like are really good for it, which the main cards you really want are like Call of Han and Luminiverse, a way to get an extra summon off. So if you just normal summon Pilica, if I can find her, if you just normal summon Pilica, you get Goldo from the graveyard, so hopefully Goldo's in the graveyard. Ah, damn, I'm burping, guys. This is actually unprofessional as hell, but I just ate lunch. But if you just normal summon Pilica, you get the Goldo off, you get its freeze, but you have no other cards on board to do anything with, right? Even if you have a Kaiju, you Kaiju their field, you summon freeze, you don't really do anything. And then next turn, they can just link summon with their Kaiju. And you don't want that. So what you want to do, some way, is you want to E-Telly. E-Telly is a good way to get off your normal summon off. So like honestly, just E-Telly plus a Kaiju is really great because you can E-Telly, summon Pilica straight from the deck. Pilica's effect activates, gets a Goldo from the graveyard. Synchro summons up to Freeze. Freeze effect activates, getting you Goldo back into your hand. Then you would just normal summon your Goldo, and then from Goldo you can get Eagle, and then you can get a Winda or a Kamui, and you can get a bunch of damage that way. So that's why you need cards in this deck to get an extra summon off, and that's like actually adamant. And so the last cards, they sort of help with that, they sort of don't. The spell cards, they're basically the same card. So Cool Pen of Goldos, target 2 wind monsters and 1 card your opponent on the field. So either your side or your opponent's side. Shuffle both the wind guys into your deck, and then return the card to the hand. And then you have Contact with Gusto. Target 2 GUSTO monsters in your graveyard, 1 card your opponent controls. Shuffle both cards in your graveyard and then destroy the opponent's target. So, Cool Pen is way better. They're literally like the exact same cards, but this one's a little bit newer. So this one is not from Hidden Arsenal. This one is. This is like you can only use this with Gustos. You can use this card with Winds. And honestly, putting cards back into your hand is better than being destroyed. And also, this card has like multiple uses too. Like you can even target your own cards. Let's say you want to target like a continuous spell card. You can target that card, put it back in your hand, and play it again. There's a much more uses for Goldos, for Quill Pen. I'm sorry, but to use this in the deck, like you can run these cards. Like they're not bad. Like you will get a bunch of Gusto monsters in your graveyard for you to use these cards. But then again, they're not that great. Like you're wasting resources. You're wasting this card. They're super niche. Again, you can run these. I have run these in the past. They have worked for me in the past, but they're just not competitive. They're not 2018, if you know what I mean. Like all this work just to turn a card back to the hand. Like you can use other resources. I mean, like again, putting cards back into your deck is really good in this deck. But again, that's still a cost that you need to fulfill. And there's gonna be moments where you're like, let's say you drew these cards the first turn, right? These cards aren't live. That's just the point. They're not live. They don't do anything. You'd rather have anything else. Possible one of, it's your choice. For me, it's a 0 because I'd rather run like combo pieces. If you're running a strict OTK version of Gustos, do not run these cards because they're slow. and GUSTOS are already slow enough. And finally, we have the trap cards. This one's a misprint. There's like ink spot on there. So Blessing for Gusto. Target 2 Gusto monsters in your graveyard plus a third monster in your graveyard. Shuffle both those first 2 and special summon one. Special summon the third. So this is basically a Call of the Haunted, except it's not a continuous trap, and you shuffle 2 Gusto monsters, right? Again, honestly, guys, I'd rather want to Call the Haunted because like I know it's fine to shuffle monsters back into the deck, but that's still a cost, and you'd rather have a Call the Haunted, which is live all the time, than this. Also, Call the Haunted special summons non-Gustos. And then Whirlwind of Gusto says, if you control no monsters, target 2 Gusto monsters in your graveyard. Shuffle both targets into the deck and special summon 1 Gusto monster with 1,000 or less defense. So, this card's actually pretty great. The fact that special summoning from the deck is really great. You want to accelerate this deck. But, again, look at the targets. Special summon 1 Gusto monster with 1,000 or less defense. That's not Pilka. You want to summon Pilka from the deck, and it's just not her. And then you just basically special summon like the birds or Winda, and that's not that great. The fact that you have to target 2 monsters in your graveyard, and you have another cost of like another not cost, but another condition if you control no monsters. So it's not that great. I wouldn't run these cards. I'm pretty sure there are actually more Gusto spells and traps. These are the only cards I have right in the moment. But that's basically the archetype, guys. So there's just so much going on. I've got like this E-Telly, Call the Haunted, yeah, Limitiverse. Limitiverse is basically like a Call the Haunted for monsters with 1,000 attack or less. I just want to mention this because you just want like to summon Goldo, but again, Call the Haunted is a lot better. And then Creature Swap. You guys want to run Creature Swap to get those plays off, because when I'm running Gustos, I literally go OTK or bust, and if not, I literally just grind. You basically have to grind by sending these cards. Hopefully you can like not die, and then you get the play where you just Creature Swap to take your opponent's monster, and then you can possibly cheese a win that way. But overall, that's the archetype, guys. It's a lot to go over. This video is super long. I'm like losing my voice. I'm not losing my voice, but just like hurting. You know what I mean? Like it's just hurting. Like I've been talking for so long. But that's the archetype. That's Sifting Through the Trash. There are a lot of trash cards in here, but they do have their roles. You can see what Gustos, the archetype of Gustos wanted to do. So originally they wanted to like summon birds, summon girls, make synchros, right? But then they had this other thing where like you shuffle Gusto monsters from the grave to hand, from the deck to do effects, right? With these cards and with the synchro cards, and then you have freeze out of nowhere with like the best effect of like getting a card advantage, getting like a free card back, and then getting like this attack like battle damage like modification. So the deck that I want to run, that I think you guys should run and test try, is this freeze OTK deck. You want to make her as fast as possible with Pilka, and with like the other guys like you can summon Thunderbolt, summon Pilka, summon freeze. That's basically the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's actually been an entire cluster. Like, look at all these cards on this on my desk right now. There's so many cards I have to go over. There's a lot of work. I'm hoping to like make some more videos like this. Probably like less cluster, like more organized. But that's the deck. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please give a like if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you want to. You guys are the best subscribers I ever had. That's just that. So I hope y'all enjoyed it, and so Double Costin out, guys. Thanks.